the living waters. Earthrise, captured in December 1968 from lunar orbit by the Apollo 8 crew, took the world by storm the moment it was released. As Earth emerges in space, humanity realizes this singular truth. We have only one planet, our collective home. When they contemplate our blue planet and orient themselves in space, the Qinghai-Xizang Plateau is the sole continental landmark visible to astronauts at a glance. The Himalayan orogeny sculpted this magnificent plateau. The vast, snow-capped mountains gather the life-giving waters upon which human civilization thrives. These waters, flowing as rivers, nurture enduring civilizations across this high continental realm.
刘姐，今天我们又要走4-5小时的路，
这很正常。我们平时天气有时好时坏哦。
对，不知道这次雪化了没有？反正上个月走的时候路还挺好。
就是现在天气也变冷了好多。
左一半，一直颠来颠去，头都晕。
Mount Geladaindong is the highest peak of the Tangula Mountains. It is the source of the Yangtze River. For 40 years, Nanja has lived here. Nanja's existence still centers on following the pasture's rhythm, moving where water and grass guide. The Yangtze source nourishes Nanja's family, and in return, they safeguard its waters. In Xizang, Amdo County, the Yangtze River begins its journey from Domar Township. Keeping a close watch on the purity of these headwaters matters profoundly. Local volunteers regularly step up to support environmental teams on the ground. Whether they are environmental workers, Nanja, the first herder family at the source of the Yangtze, or volunteers from Domar Township, they all share one common goal: to protect the source of the Yangtze River. The Yangtze River nourishes China's most prosperous regions. This region spans 11 provinces and municipalities, covering approximately 2.05 million square kilometers. Its population exceeds 1/5 of China's total, and its gross regional product consistently surpasses 40% of the national total. At the Yangtze's source I dwell, you downstream where its currents swell. Shared waters from this mighty stream flow through our lives like common dream. On August 1st, 2023, the unveiling ceremony for the first drop of the Yangtze Monument was held at the foot of the Zhanggen-Diru Glacier on Mount Geladaindong in Xizang.
弄不起来。
刚刚就是这刚到，
好吧，
多嘛就想到，
多蛮不是。
不是，要是毕竟我那时候想到，
你说的是。
The Tangbei sector of Sanjiangyuan National Park, where the first drop of the Yangtze is located, is the birthplace of the Yangtze River and a vital source region for the Lancang River, and is also one of the world's highest, largest, and most concentrated high-altitude wetland areas. Yet this is merely the tip of Xizang's ecological iceberg. Therefore, the declaration that protecting Xizang's environment is the greatest service to the Chinese nation rings as powerfully true as the sight of its grand rivers and vast lakes. Tsai Li Tachin spent his childhood on the shores of Bangong Lake. Ngari has never failed to live up to its exalted renown as the ancestral home of 1,000 mountains and cradle of 10,000 waters. The sweeping arcs of the Himalayas, the Gangdise Mountains, and the Karakoram Mountains converge in this magnificent and vast expanse of western Xizang. Here, Ngari reigns supreme in solitary grandeur between heaven and earth, radiating her vital spirit and untamed nature, mysterious yet remote, ancient yet ever renewing, profound yet vibrantly alive. Water embodies her primal force, a mothering presence that nurtures and embraces all beings. Flowing from the sacred peak of Mount Kailash, the Lion Spring River, Elephant Spring River, Horse Spring River, and Peacock River are not only her vital wellspring, but also the very expression of her unadorned nature. The main headwater of the Yarlung Zangbo River is the Ma Chuan River, Horse Spring River, formed by the convergence of the Gyema Yangzomchu, Kubitsangpo, and Mayumtsangpo. Located in Zhongba County, Shigatse City, this colossal glacier, cradled between two mountains, has lain in silence for tens of millions of years. As sunlight melts the ice, drop by drop, and streams gather thread by thread, swelling at last into the mighty torrent of the Yarlung Zangbo, the primal forces and creative power of nature are unleashed. From vast skies and sweeping lands to the fragrance of highland barley, the natural transformation of the sea turning into mulberry fields fills one with awe. Sangdan Chile was born in Saga County on the southern bank of the Yarlung Zangbo River. In 2020, he joined the Shanghai Institute of Surveying and Mapping through an employment assistance program for Xizang. At the estuary of the Yangtze River, he is embraced by the warmth of its waters flowing from his homeland, just as he is nurtured by the advanced humanistic ethos of Shanghai, mirroring how the Yangtze and Yarlung Zangbo rivers, originating in his native Xizang, sustained him throughout his childhood. Time flows like a torrential river, pausing for no one. Yet those who draw life from the same waters savor existence through the ages, weaving enduring and ever-renewing civilizations in the current of eternity. Unfolding along the Yarlung Zangbo River, Xizang culture represents an enduring evolution in step with progress, a continuity reaching into the very essence of Tibetan cultural identity. Tibetan opera first took root along the sacred banks of her lifeblood. Legend tells of Thangtong Gyalpo, a master of the Shangpa Kagyu order, pledging his solemn vow to bridge the untamed Yarlung Zangbo and free river communities from their age-old struggle to cross. Providence answered in Chongye Loka, where Thangtong Gyalpo met 7 artistically gifted maidens. To seek alms for bridge building, they formed Xizang's first Tibetan opera troupe. They performed through song, dance, and storytelling, persuading people to perform virtuous deeds, accumulate merit, contribute money and labor, and collectively build bridges. People marveled at the girls' exquisite beauty, graceful dance movements, and the refined, melodious clarity of their singing voices, exclaiming, "Could it be that fairies have descended to earth?" Hence, Tibetan opera came to be known as Lhamo. Now, professional Tibetan opera troupes exist within the Xizang Autonomous Region, with performers active in Lhasa, Shannon, Yangtze, and other areas. The bridges carried Tibetan opera to distant lands. Sonam Tashi grew up immersed in Tibetan opera. He shared the same aspiration as the Lhamo. The Yarlung Zangbo River broadens along the Nedongjanang stretch. In the 1980s, before bridges spanned its banks, people could only cross the river by ferry. In 1985, Sonam Tashi assumed the mantle of ferryman from his father, navigating the waters in a wooden boat retrofitted with an engine. Now, Sonam Tashi travels by car across the Janang Grand Bridge. A profound transformation began unfolding across the land. In 2015, the 4.7-kilometer Janang Grand Bridge opened to traffic. Together with several other major bridges, these structures now arc like rainbows across the Yarlung Zangbo River, becoming conduits for civilization and exchange between its banks. Glaciers are water's most majestic metamorphosis. It is no silent mass of ice, but a living entity inscribing ecological codes in crystalline script, a legacy bearer of polar ice sheets, whose deepest layers preserve ancient climate bubbles from hundreds of thousands of years. The Purog-Kangri Glacier ranks as the world's third largest ice mass outside the polar regions and holds the title of the largest glacier at the lowest latitude, Shuanghu County, situated in the northwestern Changtang, is designated as a buffer zone within the Changtang National Nature Reserve. In this realm, glaciers, lakes, and deserts coexist as a rare symbiotic triad. These three distinct landscapes sustain one another in mutual nourishment, creating one of Earth's most singular natural phenomena. Massive ice formations, pristine white and tens to hundreds of meters thick, mantle the mountain slopes. Under sunlight, they shimmer with crystalline clarity, creating a breathtaking natural spectacle. Ice towers in fantastical silhouettes, forests of seracs standing row upon row, and caverns carved by nature's own hand reveal elemental artistry so breathtaking, it awakens profound reverence.
欢迎欢迎新来的大家，每个人咕噜噜噜啊！谢谢大家。赶紧去突击去，能把筹码赶紧去突击去。
Lobzapa is a geezer bard from Guchong Village, Lashi Township, Bikan County. One night when he was 8, he dreamt of the stories of Gizar. The moment he awoke, he began reciting the epics, thus embarking on his path as a bard. He has become the most cherished figure during local herders' leisure hours. The Tibetan epic Gizar synthesizes the social history of ancient Tibetan civilization, standing as its definitive encyclopedia. Lobzapa now formally assumes the mantle of inheritor for this intangible cultural heritage. To him, the art of Gizar epic recitation embodies his very existence. In solitude, Lobzapa journeys to the foot of Mount Bujag, where legends of King Gizar took form in the mountain shadow. This journey through time embodies more than remembrance. It is a sacred vow etched in Lobzapa's heart, the purest act of guardianship for this ancient art. Mount Bujag, revered as a holy mountain by adherents of Bon religion, stands at the convergence point of Bakin County and Sog County in Nagko, alongside Denkin County in Kamdo. This sacred terrain also constitutes the heartland for the living transmission of the Tibetan epic Gizar. Through its flowing waters, the mountain perpetuates the cultural fabric of this land. Day after day, Losang Rob guides his cherished white yak to the shores of Namtso, the celestial lake, grazing northern Xizang High Plateau. Here, his white yak becomes a sacred emissary, allowing travelers worldwide to connect with the plateau's spirit. Losang Rob and fellow villagers share in Namtso's bounty, cherishing these azure waters as dearly as their own eyes.
在路老短的，公看办的，只不过前6年都的能行起来。
Namtso, Silingko, Puma Yumco, Yumco, these peerless lakes of the plateau, like sapphires inlaid upon the earth, are frozen epochs made manifest. By lake and river, hearth smoke curls upwards from villages nestled along the shores. Here, people draw water and worship its flow, etching life-sustaining wisdom and reverence for nature upon every ripple. Ancient legends and devout faith unfold around these sacred waters. Through lake circumambulation and water offerings, people commune with the cosmos in soulful dialogue. These rituals embody humanity's primordial covenant with nature, whispered across time in every ripple. When meltwaters from Mount Geladaindong flow eastward into Lake Puma Yumco, they nurture the world's highest altitude, large freshwater lake at 5,010 meters. Old Ugyen Tenzin was born and raised by Lake Puma Yumco. Just like other herders, he holds deep affection for this great lake. As the Tibetan New Year approaches, he watches the weather conditions and gazes at the distant island in the lake. At this time each year, they herd the sheep to the island in the lake, for the island serves as temporary New Year pastures for the flock. My daughter works at a guest house in the village. In recent years, with the rise of online videos, the traditional sheep herding activity has been promoted by netizens as the Puma Yumco Sheep Herding Festival. Though not a genuine festival, its exuberant atmosphere rivals that of any true celebration. Visitors from across China now flock to witness this spectacle, resulting in such acute accommodation scarcity that securing lodging has become near impossible. The migratory journey proves fraught with challenges for the herders. Applying plant ash onto the ice significantly enhances traction for the herders. The swelling chorus of drone buzzes, camera shutters, and live streamers' voices now imbues this once ordinary sheep herding ritual with both chaotic fervor and unexpected grandeur.
저 이거 그치 또 오늘 바다에 인대미 고보다 이거가 다 오집니다. 그래 또 아고야 이딴다 이또 야 이다 집에 중시 대표요 한번 후수
After securing the tents on the lake's central islet and ensuring the keepers' provisions were settled, Elder Ngawang Tenzin and the villagers departed with quiet assurance. Summer pastures here abound with lush grasslands. Though the village's communal herding system has freed many from labor, Elder Ngawang Tenzin still visits the flock whenever he finds time, basking in tranquil solitude beside the lake and letting his thoughts drift with the wind. Rivers, lakes, and seas forge both Xizang, physical being, and the spiritual essence of its people. Within this landscape, every drop of melting snow safeguards the weight of all living beings. Every mirrored glimmer upon these Tibetan lakes whispers eternal tales of guardianship. Together with generations rooted in this land, together they compose an epic of survival, faith, and eternity written upon the great earth. This primordial interdependence composes the grandest cosmic harmony, a magnificent exaltation of all beings thriving at life's threshold.